Hello guys, welcome to our USL 2 coverage. We can see FC Copa down there, and they're facing off against the Long Island Rough Riders. We are back at Mitchell Athletic Complex. If you were tuned in a little earlier, you would have seen us covering the Long Island Rough Riders women facing off against Brooklyn City FC. And now we have got both these teams, the Rough Riders and New Jersey Copa, starting their USL 2 seasons. Rough Riders have been around the USL for a little while, but Copa, this is their first season. Both teams starting off the seasons today, and they're going to want to hit the ground running. And had a bit of a chat with the Rough Riders head coach, Tom Bowen, a couple of minutes ago. And let's see what he had to say about the game today. Here, guys, with Tom Bowen. Tom, first USL 2 game for the Rough Riders in 2 years, since 2019. How are the lads feeling for it?
Excited. It feels like it's been a long time coming, obviously, with the pandemic putting an end to things last year. Itching to get going. I'm itching to get going. Excited, yeah. Hopefully we can put in a good performance. It's been a short run-up, short week of training, but yeah, we're confident we can put in a good performance.
And in terms of the composition of the squad, what is kind of the experience level? I know you've got a lot of players coming from college post-seasons. They've had very successful college seasons. Do you have some more experience in there as well?
Yeah, definitely. So, yeah, the majority of the guys have had great college years, had long runs into the NCAA tournament. So hopefully they're fresh, they're fit. Don't need to worry too much about that. But yeah, we can sprinkle in a couple of older heads in there. Overall, the squad I like it. I think we've got a great blend of youth and experience in there, and hopefully the older guys can help see some of the younger guys through. And
the Copa, a newcomer to the USL 2, a bit of an unknown entity. Is there much that you do know about them, though?
No, not really, to be honest with you. I haven't seen, obviously they're new to the league. I know they obviously existed beforehand. I know Fernando, a good guy. But yeah, a bit of an unknown, which is obviously difficult to prepare for. But I'm confident we've got a game plan that will work.
So, and what is it really, I mean, as you mentioned, you haven't had too long with the team. What is it in this early stage you're kind of really looking for the guys to show you today?
Well, it's the first few sessions, and today is really still getting to know, who is our best 11, who's good at what, who can play in different positions. So it's still a little bit of experimentation at this point, but yeah, I know. We've had 3 sessions, which is not enough. We'd obviously like to have more to get some things across, but really just looking forward to seeing what they can do and getting to know the boys better. So from what I've seen so far, they're just a great group of lads. So it's going to be a fun summer, I hope. Hopefully we can pick up some wins along the way and then everybody's happy.
And finally, I got to give you the really awkward question of what, and I already asked you this in private, what is the team's aspirations for the seasons, or the targets?
I mean, the target every year is to be near the top of the division. It's got to be, I think, everybody's aspirations. We have, like I said, I'm confident in the squad that we've put together. A few guys still not arriving late, either through college or international clearance, things like that. But yeah, the goal, without putting too much pressure on ourselves, the goal is to be near the top every season.
Yeah. Well, Tom, I'm really excited to see the lads tonight, and good luck.
Appreciate it. Cheers, man.
All right, 6. And that was very interesting to Coach Tom Bowen's thoughts on the game today. Interesting point that a lot of these players have had very successful college post-seasons, which has meant that he's only really got to work with the squad for this week. So in a sense, the squad victim of their own success. But he has got a terrific group of players in there, Coach Bowen. And I know that they are missing, as he mentioned, they're missing both their centre-backs and their playmaker in the middle. And they're going to have those back for Wednesday. But we've got more than enough talent on the team today to get a good result. Both teams are just in their dressing rooms right now, but it looks like they're starting to emerge. All right, so we've got the Rough Riders squad starting to merge. And as they do come out, let's ourselves have a look at who we're going to have in our squad today for the Rough Riders. We're going to have in goal, number 1, Josh Levine. At left back, Galen Flynn, who's just finished his freshman year, the young man. But a starter for him. He's a freshman at Fordham. We've got the skipper, Matthew Sloan, who is Mr. Rough Riders, if you could say it. He's come through the youth system and now skippering the team. Been with the club for a long, long time. We have number 5 alongside Sloan, Actor Camp. We have at right back, Michael Borger. We have sitting in front of the back 4, Alberto Diaz. We have number 7, Joseph Sanchez. Number 8, Nicholas Rosler, also in centre midfield. We have Eduardo Capote at the left wing. On the right wing, we've got Jake Barish. And we've got leading the line, Brian Saramago. Great goal scoring threat. There is our starting line. Let's have a quick look on the pitch. And we've got the teams lining up right now. And this come away. And let's go back now to have a look at our subs. We've got Carl Pereno, the left back. Ethan Lochner, who in 2019 won an NCAA championship. We've got Eddie Speed in on the bench. Got number 20, Stefan Betts, also another player who's just finished his freshman year playing at Syracuse. We've got the backup goalkeeper, Samuel Lynn. Number 24, Anthony Herbert. And finally, we have Dylan Middlebrook. So there are our lineups as the floodlights have just come on. The team's posing for their starting, their squad picture, their starting lineup pictures. And the team's just going in for their final huddle. And the Long Island Rough Riders, it's been a long wait for them. Obviously, as so many teams not getting a season in 2020. They finished 3rd in the league in 2019. And as Coach Brown said, they're definitely looking to push for those top spots. But you never know with the season. As Coach Brown said, very early days. So he really has to see with these first few games what squad can come together. And Copa, newcomers to the USL 2. They'll be very anxious indeed to hit the ground running. And we are off and underway. The Rough Riders in the blue and Copa in the white. Now let's see what these two teams can bring into this new USL 2 season. And it's an early ball looking out there for Capote. And Capote cuts down to the line and just ran that one out. But positive start by the winger. Just putting out, but good pressure by the Rough Riders. And here's Saramago. Just a little bit loose though. And given out to Cruz. Down to Barbato. Here's Barros. who had a stint a few years ago playing in both Portugal and Spain. He's just pulled up there, Barros. He got a hard tackle. He's stepped up for the pitch. Play going on. Referee is going to hold up now. Barros back on. So thankfully it doesn't look like anything too serious. Barros trying to flick that on to Sanchez. And nicely worked out there by Copa. And an early chance for them to come in forwards. And there's a free kick given there on the Rough Riders. Camp just tries to bring him down, and this is a decent range for the Copa for about 30 yards out. They've just got someone on the left ghosting over, but Barros staying away for that, and the number 10 will deliver this one. Sent over the wall, but well over the bar. Through the American football goal in the end. However many pointers that gets you, I'm not sure. And Levine with his first touch on the ball. And Levine, a goalkeeper for a Fordham team that recently won their A10 championship. And there's a couple of Fordham players in the Rough Riders squad today. Giving it back to Etchecamp. Slowing the skipper, looking out long for Barros. And that's a good ball out to Barros. He's going to keep this one in. And forcing a throw-in right by the corner flag. And Mikil Borga has retrieved the ball, and it'll be Emmy throws it in, giving it to Sanchez, and Sanchez brought it down nicely, but totally fluffed the second touch. It'll be a goal kick for Copa. Here's Abodonia. Fassbinder. Fassbinder looking over the top for Griffith. And Griffith surrounded by blue shirts, but he's still going, Griffith. He's going into the box, down to the byline, back across the goal. And Levine forced to block that angle there. Danger still alive. Here's Cruz back to Barbotto. And that one is blocked out by Diaz, but it's going to be Copa corner and very tight angle. But I think if Flynn hadn't got that save, that was going in. Early warning for the Rough Riders. And that ball's whipped in well. It's a good delivery. And what a save by Levine. One-handed, sprung across the goal. everything right with that header. Bounced it down right in the corner, and Levine making a critical intervention. Going to be another corner for Copa, and they've started well, the away team. Set back in, and they're queuing up at the back post, and he got ahead on that one. The big centre back, Abodania, but couldn't keep it down. And they're coming up into the box, the Road Riders, and Capote, fraction away from pulling the trigger, just last minute intervention by the defenders. And that ball was sent in and risen up. And it was Sanchez who got the head on it. And it'd be a little disappointed that he couldn't finish that. It was a free header. Right, and that 6-yard box. And that's nicely worked by the referee, just testing that defence cleared out. Giving it to Sanchez. Sanchez with a nice little flick into Diaz, and that's nicely worked. And up to Capote, and Capote just getting muscled out and being forced to commit a foul. Abonania. That's a Diablo. Here's a Fassbinder. To Cruz, and Cruz just cutting inside and looking to drive into some space. And they're looking over the top. Copa. Ackerkamp doing enough, and here's Borga. Back to Sloan. And giving back to Borga. And Borga looking for Sanchez, I think, but overhit it. Yeah, so giving it back to Rodonilla, just under a little bit of pressure from Capote. Cleared out by Hoffner. And Askamp with a good recovery tackle. And Diaz, the centre midfielder, in a bit of a tussle in the middle. And it's still bobbling around in there. So Copa and just hoofed it up. And it's got a little bit physical that last moment. Going to be a free kick for Copa. Yazo and Serephilis standing over the ball. And Yazo trying to send that in, but it's closed down by Diaz. A little bit loose. There go Rosler. Sanchez with some really nice feet though, just to skip between those two players. And the referee just going to go check. And, I think it's Saramago down right now. Saramago, a player that they really don't want to get hurt. The centre forward. Come from previously played for the Red Bulls under 23s. And before that was at Loyola, where he played 68, scored 34 and got 23 assists. So just full of goals. And that was a dangerous looking ball there for a second. Back with Seraphilis. And he's going to send in a hopeful ball, but too close to Levine. Levine giving it to Sanchez and Diaz out to Borga. Borga looking over the top for Sanchez. Cut out by Yazzo. Super switch out there by Diaz on a dime for the left back, and he's fed it up to Capote. Just a little bit over hit by Flynn. What a pass by Diaz though. That one's looking over the top again. The big man at camp getting an initial head on that. But here's Cruz. Bobato. And they're calling for a handball there, Copa. Nothing given, and Sanchez will try and bring this one out. Ball just run out before he could get a touch on it. So we approach the 15-minute mark in this first half. Copa having the best chance so far was Griffith in a very narrow angle, but close to the goal. Levine closed it down well. And they're looking for him again, Griffith. He's brought it down, but well watched by Etchekamp. And he's won a throw in as well for the Rough Riders. Diaz just overhit that slightly to Barros. And good strength by Borga there just to shepherd that one out. Cruz switching it across to Abu Dunia. The Rough Riders are playing a high pressing game so far, not giving them a lot of time at the back, and forced turnover there. Here's Diaz into Borga, and Borga doing well to switch that across to Sloan, and Sloan's got a bit of space to drive into now. Looking long for Flynn. Diabo getting the head on that. It's going to be a Rough Riders throw. Here comes Rosler. And that's a nice ball out to Barros. And Barros going to try and bring that on his left foot. Lovely little Maradona by Barros. He's still going, and he's gone down there in the area. And the referee not interested. Barros just dancing around a couple of the white shirts. And good switch out to Diabo on the right back. Going to try and push forwards. Is Ruito. Back with Diabo. But Rough Riders, really good pressure again, and they've come away with it, and that was a late tackle on Rosler. It's going to be a free kick for the Rough Riders. Flynn cutting in, looking for Capote, just hit it ahead of him. But as I said, Flynn just finished his freshman season for Fordham. Got a great physical presence though, the young man, and played 9 games for them, and most of all those games. So a real key player for that Fordham team, and a great player for Rough Riders to have in there on that left side. And Etchkamp looking in behind, and Saramago wasn't too far away from that. That's a little bit loose by Copa, and Rosler bringing that forward, or Sanchez even, had in the shot! And the keeper really unhappy with his defence for giving Rosler the time there, or Sanchez even, the time to pull the trigger on that one, and he wasn't too far away. That's another loose bit of play by Copa, and they're being a little bit sloppy right now, their away team, and got to be careful not to get punished. Here comes Capote, trying to cut in onto his right. It's going to be a corner kick for Rough Riders. But Copa just being the architects of their own demise at the moment, just giving the ball away in positions, and the Rough Riders looking dangerous. Capote will take this one. 7 options to aim for. And it's sent in, and Diaz has risen up. And got good contact, just flashed wide of the post. Good win there by Diaz, who started the game well, the defensive midfielder. It's going to just come back for half-time now. And Rough Riders continuing that high press. Trying to keep Fister's pen in their half. It's a nice little touch though by Cruz. Yezo playing in, one back though, and here's Sanchez. Sanchez with a good switch out to Capote, who just misjudged the bounce, tried to let it run across his body. And 20 minutes gone so far in this game. Rough Riders having 2 decent chances from corners, and the visitors having one at the other end. But still all level. And the goalkeeper, Hoffner, just putting that one out. Big Border looking to catch them sleeping, and Barros going to try and chase that. Fabinder getting across. That's into Borgo, slipped in behind. And it's going to be the skipper, Sloan. I think he's going to Rory delap this. And that's quite a throw, and straight like a bullet, thankfully, for Hoffman directly into his hands. But that throw might cause Copa some more issues as the game goes on. And that Long Island Rough Rider press causing some problems again for Copa. Got about this time though. Sent up long, Barras challenging for that. Nearly getting that, but Borga getting it on the second ball. And Rosler, I think actually the free kick been given to Rosler, but his foot was high in the. I think it's Cruz down there. Borga also. I think the initial free kick actually was given for Borga, and then Rosler's high foot came after the referee had already called the foul. Borga back on his feet. Edge camp looking in behind for Capote, but Huff on the edge of his box, ready to receive that ball in behind. And they're looking route one as well. Well trapped back there by Sloan to get the initial interception. There's a little bit loose there by Ruito. One back by Copa. It's given down to the right winger. Flynn just using his strength to shepherd that ball out though. It'll be Rough Riders. Okay, Sloan giving it into Diaz. Diaz with another nice switch out to Flynn. Flynn giving it to Capote. Capote couldn't bring it down. That's intercepted there by Flynn, and the bench calling for a handball, but still coming in. Flynn trying to feed that back across for Rosler. Just couldn't find that final pass, Flynn, but good breakaway by the left back. Here comes Copa, and they have a 4-on-3 right now. Long Riders need to trap back on the right wing, send back across the box. Sloan getting the initial header. Sanchez giving it back to Sloan. They will find Flynn, but Flynn couldn't keep it in. And that's a long-range effort by Barboto. Caught it decently. Was hit right at Flynn. Oh, sorry, Levine, even. Lovely feet there by Barboto again. And looking lively, left winger. Yeah, I couldn't find anyone, and Capote will try and break again with it. Flynn's been turned there. And it's Roito pushing down that right. Looking in the middle. And it's going to fall to Griffith. And Levine came out and kept the score all level there. They got a good break down there on the right side, Copa. And Griffith was all by himself. But Levine off his line so quickly. And the goalkeeper keeping it all level. And they're looking in behind again. Edgecamp getting the initial clearance out. And that's looking to bend it around, but Griffith that time couldn't find that back post. And guys, thank you so much for tuning into coverage tonight. And if you are watching the on YouTube, then subscribe to our channel. We've got so much more football coming to you this season. We've got plenty more Rough Riders games. We're going to be covering all of the men's and women's home games for the rest of this season. And we've got lots more. We've got 5 games tomorrow as well, as they come towards the Rough Riders. And there's looking in towards Barros. Rose there with a cute little flick out to Borga. And Barboto got the last touch in it. It's going to be a corner. And the referee just having a word there with Barboto, and he's going to get a yellow card for that, for kicking it away. That's a little bit of a silly yellow card to get. So we just approached the half-an-hour mark. It's going to be Rosler. It will send this ball in. And that ball's delivered in their post, but headed out comfortably. Hoffeln just complaining to the referee, I think, about Barros. Maybe doing some rough and tumble in the 6-yard box for that corner kick. It's going to be Sloan who's going to deliver in another hurtling throw. In it goes, they all rise up. It's a Copa shot though that clears it. Sanchez with some nice aerial feet there, and he's got the handball off of Copa. And this is a nice position. 20 yards out for the Rough Riders. And Hoffman is at it at the referee again. Just to make sure he got some time to set up his wall. He's got 5 men in that wall. Diaz, Sanchez and Sloan all standing over it. And it's Sanchez who sends it in and just over the bar. Half a foot. Not a bad effort at all by Joseph Sanchez. Where's that? And Diaz just got a little bit too much. That's the referee lifts his shirt, and it's going to be a free kick for Copa. Look on the top, Diaz blocking that one. Here's Sanchez. Going to Borga, and Borga looking up for Saramago, who's been quiet so far, the striker. Carries a big threat for the Rough Riders, but haven't managed to involve him much in the game thus far. But that's one back there by Sloan. And they've got a 4-on-2 here, the Rough Riders. Is Saramago now on it? And he's given out to Rosler! And Rosler is offside! Emphatically finished, but according to the official, he's just straight off, and not the first offside call to go against the Rough Riders today. The woman, if you're watching earlier, the Rough Riders woman denied literally last kick of the game goal by the linesman's flag. One well there by Cruz. That's getting Benno. Giving that to Hipólito. But they've won it again. And here comes. And Saramago looking to feed it in. And Halfona closed down that angle so well. Canote bringing it forwards. And they just couldn't get the finish there. But the Rough Riders knocking on the door at the moment. Ball sent in. It's a decent looking ball. Bouncing around in there. And it's finished. And I think that is Brian Saramago who got the final touch. A real goalmouth scramble. Good delivery in. And the Rough Riders score first blood and kick off their USL 2 season. Everyone rose and ball bouncing around, and Saramago, with those poacher's instincts, was the first to react. And Coach Bowen did tell me before the game, if there's one to watch for goals today, it's Saramago, and he has proved on the mark. And I have to say, deserved for the Rough Riders. They've been putting a lot of pressure on Copa for the last 10 or so minutes. And that's a decent looking ball out to Roito. And he's driving inside, trying to get it onto that left, just overplayed it a little bit. Giving out to Cruz on the left. Barris watching him carefully. And it's still in, Sloan clearing out, and Diaz give out to Sanchez. And that's well worked by Sanchez. And Rosler is going to try and push through here. Well covered in the end by Abadania. And that was a very risky split pass by Halfona. Got away with it. Here's Cruz. And looking in behind there for Griffith. It's back with Sanchez though. Saramago's dropped off on that left, and that is a gorgeous ball through to him by Sanchez. Saramago one-on-one. What can he do here? Got one already to his name. Well stood up there by Abodania. He watched that well. What a fantastic ball out there by Sanchez, though. On the money. The Rough Riders have really done a great job as well at pushing that ball hard in the centre midfield when they don't have it. The three, Diaz, Rosalier and Sanchez, put high pressure. And there's a good press though by the right back, Borga, who just forced it a little bit and has passed up to Saramago. Sanchez though, good tackle. Saramago's got Knote on the left and Saramago has the shot himself. Good save by Hofmann. Sanchez brought it down and Sanchez really starting to dictate the tempo of this game. Loose there by Barros. One back by Diaz. Loose by him. Good step by Sloan. And Rough Riders just bossing the ball right now. It's Knote. That to Sloan, and Sloan looking in for Barros, and Barros is onside. His touch just took him a little bit wide. He's got Saramago in the middle. Cruz standing up. Barros really well there. The Rough Riders starting to find themselves, though, the attacking players in 1v1 situations, and with the ability they got out there in that front three, it's just going to be a matter of time for them to find another one, you feel. Unless Copa can start to cut out those opportunities. Okay, I'm giving to Sanchez. Into Barros. Edge camp looking to find Knote. But watched by Diabal. Rosler. Goes into Sanchez. And Diaz was looking out for Flynn. It was a good contact. Rosler, though, was pressured that hard. He just got a little bit too much of the man there from behind. Oh, actually, Rosler's done really well. He's got himself a free kick. In another good position for the Rough Riders. Good spot to launch the ball in. And Rosler has really played with a fantastic intensity in this first half. 5 minutes left on the clock of this half. With the Rough Riders leading courtesy of a Saramago goal. And Sanchez in that one in. And Huffman off his line well to claim it. Diaz once again, an industrious defensive midfielder, win that ball back, and that's a good ball out to Knote. Saramago in the middle. Knote still got it, Knote, and he's fired it away with his left foot, managed to wriggle away past the defence. And it's Hoffman at the moment who's keeping Copa in this match. Knote initially looked like he got dispossessed, but the ball bounced kindly from him out of the tackle. And he struck it well with his left foot. And with this spell, the Rough Riders really going to want to get a second goal before half time. Give him a bit more of a comfort zone. Sent in. And it's bouncing around again and back to Diaz. And it came back at him very quickly and he couldn't get his body over it. Beno giving it out to Cruz, the left back, who's offers some threat going forwards, and he's done well there. Into Barbato, but lost. And Saramago. Into Sanchez. Sanchez just looks so comfortable on the ball in this first half. Really dictated the tempo so far. Knote coming in onto that right foot. Back into Sanchez, and Sanchez was looking for Flynn, the left back, who'd gone a long way forwards. They're looking over the top now. Levine off his line to clear with his head. There's Barbato. And next camp just going to have to be awake, and he is. He had Griffith off of his shoulder. And Diaz again coming in to dispossess. He's surrounded though by white shirts. Barros coming in to help out and clearing it out. And Itapolo was all over Saramago. It's going to be a free kick to the Rough Riders. And Borga has just got sleeping on it. And they're coming forwards, Copa. But then it's a slip from Shaflis. It's a little bit of a comedy of errors there. And unfortunately for the Rough Riders, back with Levine. And Borga just opted to send that one long. Saramago looking to give it to Barras, but touch was too heavy. And we've got about 1 minute left in this half, and other than early chance for Copa, they haven't troubled the Rough Riders' defence too much, which will please Coach Bowen. They are missing two of their centre-backs today. The skipper, Sloan, and Edgecamp are doing an excellent job so far to just contain any threat. Well won there by Saramago, who had dropped back a long way, the striker. And Rosler is caught from behind. And it looks like there's been a little switch in the front three. Saramago's thing's gone out to the right wing, and maybe Barros in the centre, or the left even, and it's played out to Barros on that left side. He's got Knote who's dropped deep, Saramago in the middle. It's going back to Knote. He's got a little bit of space, the number 11. Keeps trying to get onto that right foot, but hasn't had any joy yet. And they're all over each other. They're Edgecamp and Griffith. No free kick given, and Rosler with it. Knote looking in for that behind, and in the end, really important tackle by Diabo. The referee just giving a free kick there for Copa. Played out to Cruz. There's Sanchez watching Barbato well there. Barbato winning it back. Cruz. Rito. Out to his right back, Diabo. There is the half-time whistle. The Rough Riders in the lead. There's a Saramago goal off of a corner. Ball dropped, and he was the first to react. Rough Riders having a few other good chances. Hoffelner been called into action multiple times in the Copa goal. But Copa still very much in this game and touching distance of the Rough Riders. Do not go anywhere, guys. We'll be back in a couple of minutes. Guys, welcome back. Both teams taking the field again. We've got the Rough Riders in their huddle. One goal to the good so far. And guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you to Vito, thank you to Jennifer for tuning in. Jennifer, we're not going to be filming CPR or FC Japan tonight, unfortunately. We'd love to have got that game, but they did not ask us. We were not invited to that game. But we have got quite a contest tonight between the Rough Riders and Copa. And guys, we'd love to hear in the comments score predictions for this second half. Game very finely balanced. Rough Riders have had better of it in the first half, but only one goal ahead right now. And off we go in the second half. And I was looking direct up for Flynn from Sloan, couldn't find him. And the Rough Riders line up in the second half as they did in the first. Sanchez looking on for Saramago. Borgo was looking up for Barras, but Barras coming back from an offside position. Looks like we've got Del Terzo in at the right back for Copa. And Yazzo also in there. We managed to get some of the numbers from Copa at half-time. Apologies, we've got a few of those names wrong in the first half. That one's sent long. Borga watching it well. And a big centre-back, Abadonia, just got a little bit of Saramago's. And a skipper, Sloan. A good ball out to Barros, and Sloan, another one of the Fordham players on this Rough Rider team who got voted MVP in the conference in the season that just finished. And as I said, a guy who's come up through the Rough Riders youth system, been with the club for a long time, and a real testament to the Rough Riders developmental system, producing quality players. And Rosa's won it, and Saramago got a bit of space in the middle, cutting onto his right foot, just overran it. And Cruz coming back, but Cruz putting Hoffner in trouble, and Hoffner just putting his foot through that one. It's going to be another free kick for Rough Riders. Saramago just taking a couple of hits at the moment. Borgo whipping that one in. Cleared out. And that's a smart ball through by Rose there. And Barros looking to cut back. Couldn't find any of his teammates though. Flynn tossing it down the line. Saramago trying to use his body to give it into Rosler. Hypophilus first that one though. And Bobato doing well to bring that one out. And Cruz has got some space now, the left back, to drive into. And he's playing in to Calaglero. Oh, sorry, Calagaria even. That one was shuffled out. And he's taken a long-range effort, though. Cleared out by Borga. Yazzo there. He was a long way out. Taking something special. But a little bit of pressure here from Copa early in this half. Cleared out by Borga. And Diaz with another win back and commanding performance he's put in so far. And here's Canote. Ball just got stuck behind him. Got it back again though. Into Rosler. Rosler back into Canote. He's got two at the back post. Canote feeds it across the box. Then Hoffner out quickly to block it. Well worked there between Canote and Rosler. And Griffith will bring this one up. Driving out the defence. And he went down very easily there, Griffith, and the referee giving it against Griffith, and he's going to... Well, I think actually, I thought for a second he might have given Griffith yellow card for a dive there, but he has actually then given it to Copa. A couple of the Long Island players just making their case, not happy with that one. That's a free kick in a decent position for Copa. And Barboto standing over this one. Looks like he's going to strike it with his left. Long way out. And it took a little flick off of the wall. And Levine tried to keep it in, but couldn't. It's going to be a corner kick for Copa. That ball sent in Levine off his line, and Levine comfortably gathering that one, the goalkeeper. Going to Sanchez, and Sanchez has got a lot of room there in the middle. Gives out to Barros. Flynn steaming on the left. Barros finds Flynn. 2 options in the box. Sends it in towards that back post, but again, a little too close. Toffener. Rough Riders find themselves in some good crossing positions, but just lacking that little bit of quality on the final product at the moment. Good run forwards though by the left back. And that's wasted, and Sloan comfortably bringing that one down. Into Rosler. Back to Camp. And Barros just couldn't bring that one down. A shout out to Tiger from 2010 Santos watching. Thank you for supporting the stream, Tiger. And I'm excited to watch your talented team playing again soon. Lovely turn there by Diaz. Second tackle was by Ferreira. And I have to say, I think that was a little bit harsh, that free kick. Got plenty of that ball there, Ferreira. Rosler working that out nicely to Canote. Canote looking to push down that side. Tezo. And Canote's done well there. He's down to the byline. Hits it back across. And just a fraction too far ahead of Rosler. And that's a nice turn there. And looking up for Griffith. Eckerkamp. Reading it really well though. And back up to Barros. End-to-end stuff right now. Barros just couldn't bring it down under his spell. And the referee just going back over to the far side. Just got a player down at the moment. I think it's Del Tezo. Calling the trainer in. And big shout out to Kevin Diaz as well, watching his cousin Alberto. And Kevin, I think it's a proud day for the Diaz family today. Alberto's been super in that middle so far for the Rough Riders. And Del Terzo, that's like, may need a sub off, holding his hand. He fell awkwardly on his wrist. Copa. That's like unfortunately for Del Terzo, who just came on at half time. That's going to be the last we see of him. And hopefully nothing too serious with his hand. Fassbinder is the man who's come on to replace him, coming in at right back, Fassbinder. Going back to Sloan. So now to Flynn. And it's been 4 changes now for Copa. Rough Riders yet to make their first. Just a little bit loose there by Sanchez. Uncharacteristic for him so far in this game. Fassbinder with his first touch, and it's a nice little flick on. And they're pushing through the middle. Eckerkamp again anticipating that well, and that was a high foot, but the referee waving play on, and it's ball Botto switching out to Cruz. Pass just a little bit behind Cruz. And Cruz is going to send that in, but easy for Levine. And here's Rosler. Get it to Canote. And Flynn, that's loose from the young man. And it's given out to Seraphilis. And that's your camp. Had to come across to cover that. That ball's delivered in there at the back post. Clear on the first. And Rosler in a bit of an awkward spot. And he's won a free kick there. And sloppy from Copa. They had Rosler exactly where they wanted him. But just a little too impatient. The Rough Riders preparing to make their first change of the game. That's going to be the winger, Ethan Lochner, who, as I mentioned in the pre-match, has an NCAA championship to his name. And he's going to come on for Barros on that right wing. Sloan sending that out, but not the best free kick. Going out for a throw-in. That's nicely worked there. Here's Canote though, back with the Rough Riders. Canote finding Rossinler. And Canote still going, and he's looked lively in the second half, Canote. Dancing feet, just got surrounded by the white shirts. Flynn tossing it down the line. Saramago. It's going to be another throw to the Rough Riders. So we just passed the hour mark. With the hosts ahead from a Brian Saramago goal. Getting into Canote. And Copa just starting to get a little bit frustrated with the Rough Riders feeling like they're starting to run the clock down. It would be a little bit early to run the clock down. Still 30 minutes left, but the referee agreeing with them in that instance. And Flynn picking up a yellow card. And that's gone out. And this is Matthew Sloan territory. Sloan is going to launch this in, but the referee, just spotting Sloan had nicked himself another 5 yards. He's going to have to take again, and unfortunately the benches are just kind of impeding his run up a little bit, Sloan. And he does launch it in that time. He's going in towards that front post. All the bodies leaping it up together, cleared out. And there's a late tackle there. I think it's the Etchecamp the offender. It's a Copa player, crumpled on the ground. Back on his feet now, but a big centre-back, NJ picking up a yellow card for that. But Fassbinder. Nicely worked there by Fassbinder. And that's a decent looking ball forwards. NJ again, who's really anticipated the play well. Had to be alert. Because Caligari was right on his shoulder. But they're coming forwards again. The visitors. Going out to Fassbinder. Good tackle there. Saramago, but play being waved on, hoping for a free kick on Canote. Sent in towards that back post. And Lavina again off his line quickly to gather that one. Flynn turning well there to get out the young man. But couldn't find the pass down the line. Just a little off for this first touch there. Barbato. Back out to Cruz. Cruz sending that one in early. Sloan getting the first touch on it. Really well dealt with again by Diaz. And Flynn getting closed down by Griffith. And Copa having a good spell at the moment. Just keeping the Rough Riders penned into their half. Fassbinder, he's no Sloan, but not a bad throw. And that was looking a little dangerous for a second. Sent up long, but Sloan getting his head on it. A little bit loose by Rosler in the middle. Over the top Copa. But they have managed to put a bit more pressure on the Rough Riders when they've had the ball. But Copa still just looking a little bit short of ideas on it to create the opportunity. But they've disrupted Rough Riders' rhythm, that is for sure. We've got about 20 minutes left in this second half. Diaz again, just winning that ball back. How many balls he's won back? The number 14 today in the centre midfield. Here comes Canote. Flynn steaming down on the left side. Flynn gives it. He's got some options in there. Driving down to the touchline. Fed back across the goal. Cleared out. Back with Canote. And Sanchez. Get it to Canote. A lovely turn there by Sanchez. Canote, well worked. with Lochner, who hasn't seen too much of the ball since coming on. And that was a little bit of a late tackle there on Yazzo. Another opportunity for Rough Riders. Really well worked to get that crossing opportunity. Just again, the final pass. Not able to find a blue shirt. Fassbinder. Superb pressure there by Sanchez. And Knote. They've got 5 up there. Knote bringing it onto their left foot. Fed across the back post. And that was an absolutely critical touch in the back post there. By Itopolos. And a Rough Rider just waiting to get a touch on it. Knote, who has really troubled the defence in the second half, again fashioning out a good opportunity. Rosler sending it in, and they're leaping up. And it's Ackerkamp with another header from a corner, and he'd be a little bit disappointed, the big centre-back, that hasn't got himself on the score sheet today. Borger intercepting it. It's a lovely give and go there. And here's Borger, the right back, pushing forwards. Fed across the box and Saramago! Excellent work there by Borger on the right side. And Saramago got himself into a great position. I'll be really just pointing to the number 10 that he couldn't double his tally for today. And Rough Riders are going to want that second goal. It's going to be a very tense final stage of the game. It's going to be another long throw from Sloan. Sent in towards that 6-yard box. So cleared out in the first attempt, but back with the Rough Riders. Well worked there by Knote, and it's sent in, but Hoffen gathering it on that attempt. Senlon brought down well by Griffith, and he's given it out to Cruz. And they've got some numbers on the back post, sent back in towards Griffith. And Flynn, the left back, coming in to cover behind his centre backs, clearing it out. There'll be another throw-in for Copa deep inside the Rough Riders half. Getting back to Cruz, but Cruz was offside when he received that pass back from Yazzo. Haverkamp a long way off of his line. Heads that one out. Flynn getting it back though. Cannot give it into Sanchez. Flynn back to Sanchez. Sloan was looking for that ball in behind for Lochner, but not on the same wavelength. Often puts his foot through it, but that ball wasn't quite cleanly struck. Griffith. Or Caligari even. Doing well, just keep hold of that, but and then taking a little too long on it. And that's a very soft free kick given on Sanchez. And that's another opportunity for Copa to launch it into the box. Cruz sending it in, and it's a dangerous ball, and no one could get a touch on it. If anyone had it, I think almost a certain goal. Excellent delivery in from Cruz's left foot. And Dylan Middlebrook is getting ready on the touchline. We'll see where he slots in. The Rough Riders defend this league. 15 minutes left on the clock. Sanchez again, free kick called him, and another soft one on him. Looked like he got a lot of the ball back. Decision made. There's going to attack Seraphilis. Seraphilis was looking in behind for Caligari. And Canote rode one tackle and then got pulled back by the second defender. The number 11 win a free kick for the Rough Riders. Rosler, bring it down, and Rosler hasn't seen too much of the ball in the second half. And Yazzo is bringing it out, going out to Cruz. Back to Yazzo. Cruz into Roboto, and Yazzo looking to create a cross opportunity. Haverkamp more than equal to that on the front post though. And that ball was not well switched, and Canote's got it. His first touch let him down there himself. Here's Rosler. Sanchez. Giving it to Diaz. Just under a little bit of pressure. Diaz deals with it calmly though. Borger looking to sail away. Lochner. Just holding it up to the number 12. Into Sanchez. Sanchez, lovely 1-2 with Rosler, but Sanchez's pass. Loosen that next one, and they're looking in behind Etterkamp. And Sloan, though, content to let that run back to Levine. And we move into the final 10 minutes. The Rough Riders with a slim lead. And the newcomers, Copa, to the USL 2, will certainly be pushing numbers up in these final 10 minutes. And it's Rosler who's making way in Dylan Middlebrook, who is coming into that centre of midfield. And Lochner there getting the foul call on him, and the game just been a bit stop and start at the moment because of some soft free kicks at the moment. Disruption to the tempo probably suits the Rough Riders more at this point. And that's not a good ball. And here's Saramago. Oh, sorry, Sanchez even given out to Saramago. Saramago fires it back across the goal. And draws out another save from Hawthorne. Nuffelkamp has probably had 5 good saves in this game to just keep the visitors within touching distance of the Rough Riders. And that's another soft free kick given. And it's on Borger this time. And they're going to push numbers forward to this one. Copa. Now one's delivered in, and it's a free header. Can redirect our eyes. They've got to be very careful. Sanchez, just the ball's in the box. Shefford's it out. Giving out to Yazzo. Here's Cruz. Well dealt with by Lochner. Clears out. It's back with Hoffelner. And Matt Sloan being a rock there. 2 big headers in a row from the skipper. Cleared out by Sanchez. And Canute looking to feel into Saramago. Sanchez just getting muscled out between 3 players. And that's a good ball through to Griffith. And Griffith's through here. Griffith shoots, but straight at Levine. Griffith not able to find a corner there. And the Rough Riders escape back with Fastened. And he's going to have the long range shot. And that is not far over the bar. Goal kick given. But the referee overruling his linesman. He's given a corner, ruling that Levine got a second save there. And nervous moments for the Rough Riders. That ball's dinked into the back post. It's a big scrumming around there. Diaz managed to get out. Falling back to Cruz. Sloan clearing it. Back out to Cruz though. Lots of white shirts still up in the box. Sent in towards the back post. They'll let it go through. To Alberto, and Ethan Lochner doing what needed to be done there to prevent the cross. And the referee just holding up play, and I think he's going to bring a couple of the players over. The temper's starting to get a bit flared in the penalty area. And just having a word with a couple of them. And Fassbinder will toss this into the area. Just in their post, and they've got to be careful here, Rough Riders. Sanchez keeping his head. Another Copa corner though. 5 minutes left. Plays short to Fassbinder. And Roberto, not a good ball. Saramago clearing that one out. Middlebrook giving it, sorry, even Lochner giving it back to Diaz. Here's Saramago. Nice feet, and Saramago is pushing in to that area, tight angle, and fizzed across the area. And he falls to the ground. He's putting a good shift. The centre forward, and covered a lot of ground. May just have a case of cramp. Rough Riders, we've got Eddie Speed on the touchline. And looks like Eddie Speed is going to come on for Saramago, who goal the first half. It's all that separates the two teams. And both these teams just taking a moment to get some water in the break. It's 90 during the day. It's cooled down a bit, but still very humid out there. Probably about 80, 75. Very draining. And the game's been played at a high tempo. And that's the last we're going to see of Saramago. And it's Ethan Speed who's coming on. And Middlebrook winning that one back and just putting his foot through. And it looks like Joseph Sanchez has moved to centre forward position, and he's won that. Sanchez sent it towards the back post, and it's going to surely go in, and it's finished. Was it? The referee hasn't given it. Off the line, oh my lord. I think that was Eddie Speed on the back post with his first touch of the game. And surely that ball crossed the line. There's a combination of two Copa players who cleared it. And Rough Riders denied the chance to seal it. And Copa have a man down on the far side. Down to 10 men at the moment. The trainer tends to... Well, they just brought on a 24 actually in on the back. That's cleared out. And here's Knote. And Knote is looking in. And he's onside Ethan Speed. Knote in the middle. Oh no, he's not. The linesman's flag went up late. Well, the play's still being waved on. And he's finished to Eddie Speed. And Eddie Speed has sealed the game for the Rough Riders. Hoffman steaming towards the linesman, asking for that flag. The linesman flag did go up, but I think it must have been for another Rough Riders player, or the referee overruled him. The referee now going over to check with the linesman, but everyone froze for a second. It looks as if the decision had been made. Everyone froze except for Eddie Speed, who rounded the keeper. And unless the referee's going to overturn it, doesn't look like he is, the Rough Riders have sealed in the 90th minute an opening win of this UL2 season. Hoffman still absolutely incensed. But it will be the Rough Riders who start the season with a win. There's some very unhappy FC Copa players, some very unhappy FC Copa management. And I can sympathise somewhat. I think the linesman's flag went up and everyone did freeze. But the rules is play to the whistle. And Ethan Speed was the only one who really did that. And that's sent up long. Griffith chasing it, but surely the visitors out of time now. They may have a few minutes of additional time. And Griffin taking this by the scruff net, put down towards the byline. Sanchez clearing it out. And the scorer Speed getting the throw in. And it was Eddie Speed who's... Maybe justice has been done if that goal line clearance was indeed over the line. It was Eddie Speed's shot for that one, and maybe justice has been done. He did get himself off the score sheet for that one. That's a little bit sloppy. Back though, Diaz mopping up the mess. But the Rough Riders surely over the line. They're definitely the stronger of the two teams in the first half. The second half, Copa having good spells of pressure. But it's going to fall there, cleared out by Camp. Sent in long by Flashbin, but Flynn clearing out. Drill that forward. And that's Camp who's got to be a little bit careful because he's already on a yellow card. Coming in a bit too heavy. And Copa with a free kick about 20 yards, 25 yards out. And the Copa bench still protesting about that disallowed goal. And Copa with this late free kick. Sent over the wall and just past the post. Lochner probably having it covered. And that surely the last play of the game. The referee now going over to the bench again. The Copa management very unhappy with the officials now. And he's now going to give a red card to the coach. And the gaffer, Fernando Barbato, has been given a red. And the referees making their final change to the game. It's Canute putting a terrific shift, the left winger, particularly in that second half, coming off. And number 23, not sure who that is, coming on for these final few minutes. Borga putting his foot through that one. I think that's Stefan Betts. Who's come on. Just putting his foot through that one. And we're now into the 5th minute of stoppage time. There's been a couple of delays with injuries. And also the controversy over the second goal for the Rough Riders. But time must surely be up. And the Rough Riders waiting 2 years for this day to be back in the USL 2 with everything off due to COVID. And they have hit the ground running with the resumption of the competition. Fassbinder. Going out Caligari. Alberto Diaz with another tackle. And Eddie Speed just happy to put his foot through that one. 6 minutes now, we're 96 minutes. Keeper send that up long. Skipper Sloan with a great leap to get that one. And there is the final whistle. And it is the Rough Riders who get their season off to a winning start in the USL 2. Saramago, the talisman up front, with a poacher's goal in the first half. And Eddie Speed with a controversial winner late on in the 90th minute, sealing the game. Rough Riders, deserved winners. FC Copa, New Jersey Copa even, a lot of positives to take out of it for the newcomers. They certainly caused the Rough Riders plenty of trouble, and they're going to be a team to watch out for this season. But as the Rough Riders, who start the season in winning fashion. And guys, thank you so much for tuning into the coverage. And if you're watching us on YouTube, subscribe to the channel. We've got all of the Rough Riders home fixtures for both the men and the women for the rest of this season, in addition to lots of exciting games. Let's have a quick look at the games we have tomorrow. We have, in the afternoon, 4 Cosmopolitan League games. The first team games is Borgetto against Sanzak. Borgetto needing just a point to seal that title. Unless, of course, Central Park Rangers dropped a point today, which is possible. And then the prolific Missy Lessie at 8 p.m, who really got a win to have any chance of getting a promotion spot. But they played the great attacking stuff, Missy, and shout out to many of them are watching. And we're just going to keep camera on for a second so we see these teams go down, and then we're going to go down ourselves and try and grab some post-match interviews with Coach Bowen and a couple of the players. we're going to go down to pitch level. All right, guys, we're going to go down to pitch level and try and get some post-match interviews. Do not go anywhere. We'll be back in a minute.